Oh, I didn't know I wanted to be a filmmaker until I was maybe 17. I had a creative writing teacher at my first college that I went to at St. Mary's College. Tell me I should look into it after reading an assignment that I did. At that point, I was majoring in chemistry and playing football on scholarship, and I didn't really know what to think of what she said at the time. But I realized looking back that I always liked watching movies, always liked telling stories, always enjoyed to write.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shots fired at Fruitvale. We just trying to get home.
What is going on?
Next stop, Fruitvale Station.
Fruitvale Station is an independent film about the last 24 hours in the life of Oscar Grant. It's based on a true story. Oscar Grant was someone who was shot in an officer-involved shooting on a BART station, on the Fruitvale BART station in Oakland, California, on New Year's Day, 2009. It was interesting because I always liked watching movies, and I mean, like, I watched a lot of pop culture films until I knew I wanted to become a filmmaker. So, you know, when I was young, you know, it was watching. You know, my dad would take me to see Boys in the Hood when I was a baby. It took me to see Spike Lee. Spike Lee's films when I was a baby. Malcolm X, you know, when I remember really closely seeing in the theater when it came out. And then it was, you know, all the films that all the film school brats, you know, that everybody came up watching. It was, you know, it was Spielberg, Scorsese, it was Coppola. You know, these films are the ones that I would watch intently back then. You know, some Philip Kaufman and stuff. And I watch old school movies too. I watch Hitchcock's old movies and Kubrick's old movies and watched a lot of Twilight Zone. But once I discovered that filmmaking was something that I wanted to get into, it was weird because coincidentally at the same time, a movie called City of God had come out, which was out of Brazil. And I realized, man, I really related to it. And I saw my friends and their friends in those relationships, and I saw my city in Rio. And then I was like, whoa, like if I can connect with these international stories, like how many films have I been missing out on? You know, that's when I really got into international cinema hardcore, you know, and I got into, so some of the really influential films on me that come from international space are films like A Prophet by Jacques Audiard, 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days. It's a film out of Romania. La Haine, it's a film out of Paris. It kind of deals with the same situations, that same similar structure. You know, I love an Israeli film called Waltz with Bashir. You know, and then going back to the older foreign films, like a lot of Bergman's films. You know, I love, you know, Wild Strawberries. I love I love a film called Breathless by Jean-Luc Godard. Another one called 400 Balls, Francois Truffaut. Another Italian neorealist film called Bicycle Thieves. A big fan of, and a lot of similarities in that film and in our film that we just made in terms of themes. But you know, I really fell in love with international cinema.
I'm not coming here for these visits anymore. This is my last time.
I know this is the last time for me too. I told you that I ain't going down no more.
If you want to keep putting Sophina through this, and you go right ahead, okay? But Tatiana, that baby doesn't deserve this, Oscar.
Young knows what's going on.
So I guess that's why she asked me why you love taking your vacations more than you like being with her.
Ma, you gotta tell her I love her.
Anytime you make an independent film, you know, on a micro budget, you know, your challenges are going to stem from not having enough time, not having enough money. You know, so those challenges were inherent. I think that's a universal thing. We also had the issue of it being, you know, based on a true story and based on a story that didn't happen that long ago. You know, so there was a lot of strong feelings about what we were working on at the time. Right there in the Bay Area. But I mean, it kind of went from being a challenge to a benefit, you know, because people were passionate about us doing it right. And people opened their businesses to us, opened their homes to us, and allow us to shoot in places that we probably wouldn't have been able to get, you know, on our budget. So that was actually a challenge that turned into a blessing in many ways. I mean, other issues that came up, which is the subject matter, you know what I mean? Dealing with something that's so emotional, you know, like as a filmmaker, I had to watch what happened to Oscar several times, you know, doing my research, and then we had to execute it and then watch, you know, what happened to him several times in post-production. You know, each time you see what he goes through, it takes a little piece out of you, you know. So that was another inherent challenge. But for me, it was always about making the best movie we could make with our resources. You know, we had a very small budget. We had a lot of passion and support from everybody. Man, we had limited resources, and I just wanted to make the best film that we could make with the time and the resources that we had, and to hope that as many people will see it as possible. And that's really my concern. Every time it's seen and shown to an audience, man, I feel like we getting in a word right there.
Put that phone away.
What you got? Are you still on the train?
We still at Fruitvale.
Why can't you tell me what is going on? What is the problem? What did you do? Oh my God.
Good, I'm good. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be good.
It's now or never. It's now or never.
The biggest eye opener for me has been just working on something so hard that was specific, you know, and having people connect with it that are from backgrounds that aren't specific to that background at all, you know. I think that's really moving.